everybody, Brandy here, linking arms with you to help everybody get across the CPTD certification finish line. Yesterday we talked about collecting information for your OneNote notebook and how to use the learning aids within the prep course. We're going to take that to the next level. Today in lesson 4, we're talking about assessing your learning. And again, using those resources that you have at your fingertips within the ATD prep course. Today we're going to go into impacting organizational capability and focus on talent strategy and management, specifically the value of lifelong learning and professional development. There is a lot of power in these pre-assessments. So you simply open up the pre-assessment and you're going to go through the pre-assessment process and really test your knowledge and see how you do. But that's not the only thing you're going to do. You're going to test your knowledge, but we're also going to capture that data inside of our notebook. So we'll look at the first question. Here's the question. I've already answered it based on what I knew and how I studied, and then I have an answer that's down here. So what I do is I go into my snipping tool, and I'm going to actually grab out that assessment question, and I can just go right here really. I don't need all of it. And I'm just going to gather this, and then I'm going to save it, copy it, so I can use it later. Now, let's take a look at where I put this inside of my notebook. I grabbed it earlier and already put it inside here. So if you go into Domain 3, and then you go into Talent Strategy and Management, and then we go into Communicating the Value of Lifelong Learning, and you'll notice that I've already begun to put the assessment questions in here. And so here's the question, and here's the answer. And basically what I use this for is I use it for a couple things. First of all, we were told that the TD box was not going to give us all of the information that we needed. And I believe that the reason that is because the TD box is the collection of knowledge. It's the body of knowledge that we need in order to be successful. As TD professionals, we need to show that we can apply that knowledge. The application in the workplace is where the magic happens. So what our job is to go in with these pre-assessment and final assessment questions, and this is the application of what we learned inside of the TD box. So we read through it, and what I found as the biggest assistance for me is answering the question. And this one is having a sufficient budget to meet the learning needs, and that is what we use to evaluate a learning culture of a high-performance organization. And then I read down here, what are they talking about? And it says, the learning culture of a high-performance organization has 3 essential characteristics. 1 is budget, 2 is a dedicated learning function, and 3 is senior-level responsibility for organizational learning. You can go and read the rest of it if you'd like. So what I do here is I check to make sure I grabbed the right information. Those 3 essential characteristics. So I scroll up to the top here and I've got it right here. The characteristics of a learning culture are, and I read through, yes, I have exactly what I need. And I got that answer right because I've gone through and I've already done the studying in this section from the TD box 3.4.9. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into today's lesson and just review. So we talked in today's lesson about assessing your learning. We talked about the power of assessments and how those explanations are very, very valuable. We didn't talk yet about the final assessment, but I do have a point that I'd like to mention. What I do is I make sure that I've gone through all of the information inside of Domain 3 under Talent Strategy and Management. All of these are the focus of that final assessment. So I need to make sure that I've gone through and done diligently studied for each one of those areas so I can take that final assessment. And I'm using the final assessment as a final check-off, if you will, of do I know the information and can I apply it in the workplace? If the answer is yes, then I move on. If it's no, I continue studying. Now you have the secret sauce because you have content in your notebook, you've assessed your knowledge, you've captured those assessments, you've gone back and really dug deep to make sure that your knowledge base is based on what is inside that assessment. And you know that the power is to apply the knowledge to situations that you will face in the workplace as a TD professional. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how I intentionally practice using flashcards to fill in any gaps that I have and bridge the understanding between knowledge and application. Thank you for your time and attention, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.